So we're working some more submissions from our half guard top position today, right? The first one's going to be our Ezekiel in this position. Ezekiel can be done a couple of different ways, gi or no gi, right? We can always grab our gi and go to here, we can grab his gi, do all sorts of different things. One we're doing today is going to be one that leverages both his gi and our hand over here. So that's how we're going to end up shooting. This one's going to be pretty easy because people are trying to sit up on us. They don't feel in danger when we go right here, as they really shouldn't, because if we don't have this grip and aren't making an effort to keep our elbow across our body, if we relax this elbow and our grip and he pushes and pulls us across our body, we're not in a good spot right there, right? So I'm not going to hang out there a lot, and when I'm grabbing across the floor right here with this top hand, I'm staying cognizant of the fact that my arms are going to pull across, so I'm not going to let it, right? Now this grip right here, when I do this, I don't want to be super tight because I'm never going to reach my arm on this other side. I want to put myself in a position so that when I go around to the other side right here, the curve of my thumb is about where his windpipe is, right? So my thumb is going to actually be on his carotid artery on this side. Right here. Now when I go to do this, I'm going to take, and I'm not just driving him flat and laying on top and trying to reach my hand to the elbow right here. I'm going to take and reach and drive my elbow all the way across to the ground. So even if you try and buck and push and take my back, whatever he's doing right there, it's only going to get worse for him, right? And it brings my arm way closer to this hand right here that's going to try and reach. And one of the hardest parts of this is getting a grip with this hand on this side. There's a bunch of different ways you can grab, and it can work if we just barely get a grip right here, but it's not easy to do. It's not the best. So when we're doing this, we're trying to reach all the way through and grab on right here to our wrist, right? So starting right here, making sure I'm keeping my elbow up and across so that he can't push it. Getting this exactly where I feel like I want it, using this hand, I'm sorry I didn't mention that earlier, using this hand right here to help take the tension off and put it right where I want. Driving up and across, bringing my arm under, hugging to right here. Now when I finish, I'm going to take, and I'm thinking about both pulling this hand so it goes across like I'm wrapping this around his neck like a rope tighter, and I'm going to bring my elbow and my forearm up. I can help that elbow and forearm go up with this hand right here. Does that make sense? So this hand right here is going to help hold the whole thing. Sorry. Yeah, you're doing it right if he does that, okay. See right here, we're keeping ourselves nice and low, our head in the center, not letting it get to one side or another. Handing it to ourselves, keeping my elbow and arm across my body. I didn't think about this before, but you're actually kind of pushing his body down or shielding him right here, right? So if he's trying to come up towards us, we're keeping him from being all the way on this side. Getting our proper grip. And even if I'm more relaxed right here, just not giving up my posture, it's almost better for me because he feels like he's in a good spot. He starts grabbing my collar, whatever he wants to. Boom, I nail my elbow to the ground right here. I reach way through and I grab on. And I make that noise, right?
Kind of like pinning your own hand with your chest too.
Yep. So grab a partner back and forth, let's go. Ezekiel from half guard on top. One more to go. I'll head this way also. Okay, so now the last one right here, this one takes a bit of a setup, but it's something that happens kind of often, and it's something that you can encourage. Right? We find ourselves in the half guard on top, and I love to take and just set my hand on the ground right here. You know why? Because when I put my hand on the ground like this, people just can't help themselves but reach up for. I would do it if I was on the bottom. Why? Because I got good leg control here, right? And if the guy's just putting his hand down because he's making a mistake, it's pretty easy to transition my other knee up and go to a guard and make him roll, do some damage right there, right? Either get a sweep or a submission. So I have to know that when I put it down there, I'm putting it into danger. But it's like a Venus flytrap whose little tongue smells so sweet to a fly, but when it comes in, chomps it up. Alright, so when I chomp it up, it seals up in his ass. Alright, so I'm putting my hand on it. It's a setup, right? I'm keeping everything else nice and safe and tight because I'm not looking to have anything else in trouble, but it's setting it up and putting it right to here. I want him to get over and nice and deep on it. However, as soon as he does this right here, I'm going to take and put my hand onto my belly button. You can grab your own gi right here to help keep it from being pulled out. You can grab your belt right here, or you can just keep everything nice and tight and hugged to your body. So now even if he realizes there's a problem and he wants to get his hand out, he's stuck right here and you're in a really good position. So what we need to do next is as soon as I feel this, I'm going to take and lay down on top of his shoulder. Right? I can't just lay here because if he jumps both of his feet over the top of me, by escaping that foot, I'm not in a good spot. However, because I was in half guard, I have the advantage and I can use my free hand right here because all my weight's pinning this right here. I can free up and my foot goes over the top. This looks and feels funny, but it's what you need for the control and the proper transition after this. So make it your concern to get your leg out of what's under, you free it out, put it over the top. From right here, we can grab our hand, and sometimes there's a submission. If his hand pops out, there's usually not. If his hand's still caught in and he's gripped up trying to still Kimura you, you can break your shoulder right here, right? So this right here, I feel his hand has popped out. I'm just going to take and transition myself over the top. I have a butterfly in the back right here with my knees on each side. And you can see where my hand is reaching up with my thumb inside the gi. I'm not just reaching up to grab a hold of him right here. I'm coming and snaking myself around the top. Okay. And then you can go to wherever you want from right here, bow and arrow shows or whatever shows. My preferred one right here, since I don't have hooks in, but I have good control of him right here, is I'm coming over, and as soon as I feel control, I'm taking my weight off. I'm using my left hand under his bicep to pull him back to right here, flat on his back. Just taking myself out, and the one that was on the bicep
Coat hanger
is traveling up and under right here, and I'm just gonna pull or get my legs around and just keep pulling. So we can move to a coat hanger. You'd be surprised. I know that looks long and complicated, but you'd be surprised. This move is gonna flow right through to it, especially when you transition to the back of your hands, coming up and looking for that grip across the floor right away, right? Let's see again, half guard. So right here, I'm putting my hand down just to bait him. As soon as he does this right here, I'm putting myself down, and I've switched my feet already over. On the transition, you can see I escape my feet. It's way easier that way. From right here, he's not going to be protecting his neck right here. He's trying to get up. He's pushing on the ground. He's like, what the hell? This is not a usual position, right? So I know when I reach around that I'm going to have good access to this. His left elbow's away from his body, so I know when I hop off, I'm going to pull him off. My hand's going to go across, and I'm going to get myself out from underneath of him right here and just pull. You're going to want to have more than one or two fingers. You probably don't want to have all your fingers. Oh, it'll work. It just doesn't suck three fingers. All right, one more time. So keeping him flat, baiting him right here. He goes and grabbing on. Even if I just got the wrist right here, he's stuck. The more I sit here, the more he's trying to move and push and getting himself up, the more, oh, there's that neck that I want. Bringing it over, escaping myself out from underneath and think I want to pull his back straight to the ground. And as soon as I feel that transition happening right there, that hand's going to the back of his head. Grab on more of that. So, moving all the way to our crucifix from our half guard on top. Go. That's the word.